Well, hello everybody. My name's Titus and I'm with Glow Growth and Development. And today we have a very special guest, Misty. And she is a handwriting analysis. And I did a small course with her and it was a big impact in my life. She has a full course that I intend to take in the near future. And she can, well, Misty, why don't you just tell us? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Titus. Thank you for having me, and thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Yes.
So I study handwriting, and I usually start off with my story because people are like, how did you get into this? I didn't used to think handwriting was a big deal until I learned what I learned. But my story goes back to in my 20s. I was married, and I had changed my last name. And I was an only child and my mom was a single parent, and I knew myself very well. I was super happy, bubbly, extrovert, loved to talk to people and was just loving life. And then after I got married and my last name changed to Cook, it changed my personality, but it took about a year. So obviously it didn't happen overnight. And then I was signing that new last name. And I was married for 6 years, and I had the last name Cook actually for 8 years because I kept it for a little while after. But having that last name, it took about a year, and everybody was like, you're different and you're not the same person. And what happened? I started to be very introvert. I wasn't as bubbly. I was analyzing everything in my head. I was gathering all kinds of information and knowledge, but I just kind of started to withdraw from people and go inside. And I was like, I'm different. Like, what happened? Where did certain parts of me go? I was just experiencing life differently. And I'm like, I don't know where I made a right turn in life and I should have made a left turn, but I need to go back and figure this out because I miss who I used to be. I was experiencing life different and I'm like, this isn't as fun. Like, what happened? Like, I used to love life and that's kind of not there anymore. And I was married to a great guy. It just didn't work out. And when I got my maiden name back, I started to get my old personality back. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was slowly turning back into my old self, and people were saying, hey, you've turned back into your old self again. And I was like, I know. I'm like, I got to figure this out, So once I started putting the pieces of the puzzle together and figured out it was handwriting, I became so passionate and excited. Like, wow, I was just fascinated with, the shape of each letter and how when you change your signature, you change your thought patterns. And then, your handwriting is a graphic representation of your thought patterns. And I was like, how does this work? And that it takes about 3 months for the neurological patterns in your brain to shift. So once you shift the neurological patterns in your brain, then it starts to have you think differently. So, and then the story, I've just been studying it passionately for 9 years. I was in real estate for 8 years, new construction. And with all of my clients, they would be signing the purchase agreement and then I'd be analyzing their handwriting and their signature and saying, hey, that doesn't serve you. You might want to write it like this. So it was super fun to kind of share the difference with people. So they always remember, they're like, oh, you got to always cross your T's on top, So I always gave, great advice and had fun conversations with people. And everyone's like, this is your passion. You got to go out there and make it happen. So I gave up real estate and went into coaching and have been loving it ever since. But handwriting is my number one excitement that I love to share and talk about.
Yeah, and it shows, right? Not only do you show the passion for what you do, but in talking to you and having talked to you, I can see the breadth of knowledge that you have in it, right? So I remember the first conversation that you and I had, and you're talking just really this high level, deep stuff. And I was like, wow, right? And you're pointing things out in, that's common or just things that people have in their life with their handwriting And I was like, man, that she could go on for hours. And so how long is your course?
So my course is 12 weeks. And I came up with 12 weeks because I could have gone a lot longer. So I was trying to figure out, because obviously it takes 3 months for the neurological patterns in your brain to shift. So then I thought 12 weeks was perfect. And then you've got a video that you watch each week. And then I have you send me in samples of your handwriting. We have it uploaded in the private Facebook group page. So that's the first 8 weeks is focused on the shape of each letter and the meaning behind the energy and the patterns and all what goes into the depth of each letter. On the PowerPoints, we go into all the detail of famous people. Like I talk about Tony Robbins, we look at his signature. Oprah Winfrey, we look at her signature. Jack Canfield, we look at his signature. Like I've gotten samples of these people's handwriting, and they're famous, so they're well known. So like for Jack, we talk about the J for Jack Canfield. Oprah, we talk about the O, Tony Robbins, stuff like that. So we go into detail, and it's just a lot of education, a lot of knowledge, a lot of understanding, because then people, can use this in their business. They can not only use it for themselves, but then when they meet people and they're working in business, they know kind of a little bit more about that person than what they would otherwise, just knowing their name, understanding the patterns and the energy that they work with. So it can support people on that level as well. But then the last 4 weeks of the program is actually focused on questions. So once we get the foundation to the handwriting down and you've got a solid foundation with the letters, it's like you're building a brand new house inside your mindset. You've got a solid foundation of cement. You've got the solid foundation of the home. And then we start with the power of questions. So if you go back to when you were 3 or 4 years old, we were always asking our mom and dad 500 times a day, who, what, when, where, why, and how. Like, how come this? Or why is this? Or what about this? Or what's that? And our parents were constantly educating us like, okay, well, that's a bird. Okay, well, this is the color blue. Okay, well, this is a car, and stuff like that. But as you get older, we're still asking questions, but we're doing it internally. So I'm here to shine a flashlight and say, hey, pay attention. The mindset is the process of asking and searching for answers to questions. So if that's the process, then why are we going around making statements? So if you go around and you think about it, people are like, you're supposed to say an affirmation like, I am rich. And then your brain goes, yeah, right. It's kind of a battle that goes on consciously, but 90% of our mindset is subconscious. And the way to access the subconscious is by asking a question. So then I've done so much research with it over the last 8 years, and I got a lot of good success in real estate from it. And then I would put a star at the top of the page on the questions that I wrote that day when I would sell a couple homes, that week or whatever. So I've got like 100 questions in the program that I, give you between who, what, when, where, why, and how, that are beneficial questions to ask, to then write every day to support you in success and in being, whether you want to focus on your finances, relationships, emotions, physical health, or spiritual, all of it, with just connecting with who you are at the highest and best level. So I cover all of that in the last 4 weeks of my program.
That's awesome. Did you just come out with your own website?
I did. It just launched a couple days ago. It's been a good process in the making, and I'm beyond pleased with how it turned out. So the website is www.handwriting-soul-academy.com, and I've got all my packages on there, and it's been fun. We've had a lot of success coming in. So a lot of people signing up, which has been great.
So what's one key takeaway, or what's one key factor that you would like to share with the audience today?
I always love to share that your handwriting can make a difference for you. I have so many stories that I can share, and I always feel like a kid on Christmas morning when I have clients that sign up, and I'm like, ooh, what's going to open up for them, because I know the difference that it makes. But For example, we could start with the beginning of the alphabet with the letter A. You know, people are like, well, how we were taught in grade school was to write the big bubble A. Well, the way we were taught in grade school, all of the way we were taught in grade school is not as beneficial as it could be. A lot of it's very limiting. And then I was like, well, so we've been set up since kindergarten to have a lot harder life. You know, I always share with people, it's like going, if you're in a stream and you're in a canoe and you're trying to go uphill, you know, upstream, it's very, very hard. But if you turn around and you go downstream, it's a lot easier. So that's kind of what the handwriting is able to do in the mindset, is it's able to shift and make things just a lot easier. So I have a client who he used to write the star A, or he used to write the big bubble A, and he always felt like he had a limit no matter what he did. He was getting great results, but he goes, I feel like I've got a lot more potential. Like there's a lot more that I could tap into, but I'm just not able to reach it. And I said, well, you're writing the big bubble A. You need to write the star A, as well as some other blocks that he had in his signature, as well as the rest of his handwriting. He took my whole program and he was able to launch and start bringing in double, triple, he increased his sales by 234% just by shifting his handwriting. So, and it didn't happen overnight, you know, it took time. And some people are like, well, I want the results within like 4 weeks. But I always say it's like planting a seed in the ground. You know, you plant a pumpkin seed in the ground, you water it, it's got to have sunshine. And then eventually you got a little plant, but then that plant needs to grow and grow and grow. And then eventually you're going to have a pumpkin by the end of summer, right? So that's kind of the same thing, is you're developing roots in your mindset and you're forming these patterns and all of this amazing stuff. And then it starts to blossom and bloom. And it's so much fun to watch people just be amazed by their results.
Yeah, right on. Awesome. So what have we done lately?
What have we done lately? So I am traveling in an RV across the country, and I came to Colorado. I was super excited to be with everyone, and we went and jumped out of an airplane. We went skydiving, a big group of us, as well as with you. We had a lot of fun, and it was something I'd never done before. It was on my bucket list, and I said, hey, let's do it. I saw you post that you had done it before, and I was like, hey, I want to do that. Let's get a group of people together and let's go skydiving. And so you had reached out to your Glow group, and it was just awesome. We had so many amazing experiences of people. You know, I think there was 15 of us, or 16 or 18 of us that jumped out of the plane, and it was an experience of a lifetime. I'll never forget, and I will forever have that experience that was just breathtaking. The view was gorgeous, the free falling, the non-fear of jumping out of the plane. It was like you faced your fear, you know, and you're like, here we go, and it was amazing.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, of all the pictures that came out of that, there's one of you and your arms are just outstretched wide and you're just flying. And I saved that one. I was like, man, that's probably the best picture of all of them that I've seen of people jumping out of that airplane. And so, yeah, and we went zip lining, right?
Yep, we went zip lining last weekend. That's something else that was on my bucket list that I was like, hey, I'm up for more adventure. Let's do this again, and only let's go zip lining. And so there was like 10 of us that went zip lining the last weekend or whatnot, and had an absolute blast with that as well.
Yeah. So what are some things that are coming up in the future for you?
So I was just, thanks to you, I was given a great opportunity to work with Kirsten Dunn, who is doing a tour all across the United States. And we're signing a contract with her to we're going to be going to Atlanta, Georgia to be speaking, as well as in Tennessee to be speaking, which will be super fun. And my book is coming out next month. You Can Heal Your Life with Handwriting is the name of the book, and it's already done. It takes a little bit to get published. So that's coming out, and we're just exploring lots of different opportunities. I'm going to be speaking on stage, well, actually on Zoom because of everything going on. But I'll be sharing the stage with the founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation with in Manny Lopez's group. So there should be, you know, I think he's got like 16,000 people that he is connected with. So that'll be fun to share the stage with the owner of Make-A-Wish Foundation and part of that group, and just sharing my story and getting out there with people and trying to make that difference with them, you know, and I want to connect with, because handwriting, I mean, everybody's got a name, everybody uses a pen and paper, but there's lots of variety of people, you know, there's people that have PTSD from military. So, you know, the handwriting, I've worked with military men whose lives have changed because of changing their handwriting. Writing in all capital letters is not recommended. You know, so I've worked with that group of people. I've, you know, talked with people who are like, hey, let's take this into prisons, because if you've got people in prison that start writing in a, you know, beneficial way. So I've got somebody who is working on that. I know somebody else, I want to get it into the school systems. There's other people that are like doctors or people that are police officers or firefighters that they have to write in capital letters. You know, it blocks their emotions and it doesn't have them kind of process things the way that they would if they didn't write in capital letters. So there's, you know, some things that can definitely shift, and that we can support all of those different groups of people just by shifting their handwriting, and it makes a world of difference in their mindset and how they experience life. So I like to get the word out to as many people as I can and share the difference that it makes and the impact that it can make, especially with the schools, with all the children. You know, it's just like everybody out there has a story, and everybody's got some sort of connection with their handwriting. They've been writing since they were little. You know, let's show them the most beneficial way and give them the best experience possible.
So you are quite the master of handwriting.
Yes,
Do you have any mentees? Are you training the next generation or the next person in line on handwriting?
So I have my program, and I share my program with everybody, and you do get a certification when you're done with the program that you graduated from, you know, from the course that you take with me. So you do get the certification from that. You know, and then where it's going to go from there, it's still yet to be developed.
Okay. Right. Because there's the student always needs a master.
Yes.
So, and
yes.
the master needs some students. So you've got the students, right? So I would be, I'm interested to see how it develops over the course of time when you have people that are trained in this handwriting analysis that can talk and speak into people's lives and show them where they're hung up maybe in their handwriting. Speaking of, what would you say is just an example of a common hang up that people have? What would you say is a common hang up?
A common hang up, I see a lot of backward loops. Anytime you have a backward loop, it's a self-sabotage within the mindset. The other common one is loops in your T's. For me, I used to have loops in my T's with my name being Misty. And actually, to go back into things, my grandma was abused as a child, and her abuse actually showed up in her handwriting, and her name was Betty. So the way she was doing her T, she was doing loops with the crossbar, which was showing, you know, the painful experiences. So then I, as her granddaughter, I wasn't abused. I didn't experience what she did, but I took on her thought patterns. So because I took on the generational patterns from your being little on up, then I had to kind of work through and clear that. And then I started writing my T's without any loops and crossing them on top. And that was probably the number one key factor that had certain experiences just sort of disappear and they weren't there anymore. You know, and it's like I used to say, why me? Well, because it was me. Look at your handwriting. It shows it right here. This energetically is going to attract that. You know, and then you clear that and then you're like, oh, now life opens up and it's, you know, a lot better experiences, and my quality of life has improved. So I guess that's the number one thing I can share with people is when you shift your handwriting, you can shift the quality of your experience in life. So that to me is priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. So I'm still learning, I'm still growing. I'm not perfect, but I'm, you know, doing the best I can. I am a Bob Proctor coach with Thinking into Results. So I have clients with that as well. And shit, you know, so I'm able to combine the handwriting with that, and it's a great opportunity, but I definitely am, I still have growing to do, but I'm always pulling myself towards my highest and best self every single time I write in the most beneficial way possible.
Awesome.
So
That's way cool.
yeah, it's fun.
Well, yes. I appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you sharing your story.
Thank you. It was great to be on, and thank you for having me, and I'm grateful for this opportunity.
You're very welcome. And that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap.